Hey guys, it's me, Sherry. So I'm going to do a get ready with me video for spring. I've never done this look before. I'm going to actually play with my Bombshell Bora palette that I got in my Ipsy bag from March. So it looks like this. So you guys like the ones where I talk through it. A lot of people gave me positive feedback on that. So I guess we'll just jump in. I'll try not to forget to talk because sometimes I do. I forgot, I'm going to use my beauty blender this time, but I actually forgot to wet it, damp it, so I will be right back. Okay, so my beauty blender, or well, knockoff beauty blender, is dampened now, and I'm going to take my CoverGirl 3-in-1 foundation, and I'm just going to put, to start off with, just a pump and a half on the beauty blender. I'm going to have to use a mirror because I'm not going to use my viewfinder here, but I'm going to just start dotting this on my face and blending it out. Now sometimes I use my concealer first, sometimes I use my foundation first, it just depends. And sometimes I feel like I don't even need concealer, so I'm just gonna try this out and see how it goes. And I'm definitely gonna need more foundation than that. Just because I find this isn't a real beauty blender, and I find a lot of the products sometimes will actually absorb right into the sponge itself with this one. I don't know if the real beauty blender does that or not, but this one is Bella Beauty, I think it is. I got it at Winners, which is like a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx in the States, or JCPenney, one of those stores. I forget which one. I think it's TJ Maxx. It's basically like, I don't know, you guys can let me know down below. It's like, Winners has like Calvin Klein and like a bunch of other designers in there, and they sell it at like more discounted prices. Like you can get Juicy Couture, Calvin Klein, and other name brands. I can't think of them all right now. And they're kind of more discounted. You can get Sperry's there, Converse sometimes Steve Madden shoes. So what store is that equivalent to in the States? I think it's JCPenney or TJ Maxx, I want to say. I was in both of those stores, but I can't remember. I get them confused. I know Kohl's in the United States is like the Hudson Bay Company here in Canada. I want a really full coverage face, but I'm just making sure. This stuff you can pile it on anyway, I find, with this foundation. Not pile it on, but you know what I mean. You can put like a couple layers on to get more full coverage, and I want like a good coverage on my skin today, so. And I just recently started using my blending sponge again. I usually use my buffing brush from Bare Minerals, not Bare Minerals. I can't talk today, Real Techniques, but I decided to start using this because it kind of gives it more of a weightless finish. I don't know, it just looks more natural for spring. So basically that's it for my foundation. I think I got that blended out all pretty nice, and I think I am going to use a little bit of concealer today. So I use Dream Lumi for under my eyes right now, and I kind of have issues with the concealer, but I'm going to talk about that in a empties video, because this one's going to be empty soon. So, and I'll explain what that is. I don't want to like talk too much about it right now and then not have anything to talk about in the empties video, because as you guys know, I review products in empties videos for you guys. So this is in the color Radiant, so it's just supposed to give that little glow under the skin. So that's basically it. Now I have a little bucket full of brushes that I currently use over here. And I'm actually going to use some bronzer. I've been dabbling in bronzer, and I skip bronzer a lot due to laziness, but lately I found I've been using a little bronzer. I'm using NYC Sunny, in case anybody wants to know. And I basically just do a little bit of contouring with it. I was never sure of bronzer in my life. Like I'm not one for bronzer. I don't know if I do it properly. You guys can let me know if you think it looks okay on me the way that I do it. I just use a little subtle bit and I contour. I don't do the all over the face yet, because I think this one will come out too orange all over my face, because it can lean a bit orange sometimes. So I kind of just do up around my forehead and my temples and my cheek contour. And then when I put my blush on, I usually end up blending it out better. Like, or sometimes I'll take like a powder brush like this and I'll just blend it out. This is actually my buffing brush. Still work. Just like to do a little bronze. Sometimes I'll do under my chin too, but I don't know if I'm feeling that today or not. Maybe I can a little bit with this brush. And then I'll just give it a spot cleaning later. Okay, so now I'm going to take this cream blush I'm going to use today, and I'm just using this NYC Blushable Cream Stick, which I've had for a while, but it still works pretty good. So I'm going to take some of that on my fingers, and I'm going to blend it out on my cheeks. It doesn't break me out, so. And I put a little too much on, but that's what the buffing brush is for. Buff that out here now for you guys as well. That looks pretty good. I might have to touch it up a bit, but for the most part it's looking pretty good. Okay, let's move some of this stuff aside that I've already used. I am going to take my MAC powder, my MSF Natural, and I'm just going to powder everything up a little bit just to make sure that my foundation stays put for the day. With my Sigma powder brush. Paying attention to my T-zone and where I set that foundation. I mean concealer, sorry. You want to make sure you put on all your cream products, obviously, before you do any powder products. So I used cream blush, so now I'm just setting it with a nice powder, but I'm paying attention to my T-zone and just spreading the rest out to the rest of my face. So that's basically the face done, so now we're just going to jump into the eyes. To prime my eyes, I'm going to use my MAC Paint Pot and Beer Study, because it's a nice champagne-y color, kind of neutral, goes with everything. So I'm just going to slap that on. Just a nice thin layer. You don't want to build it up too much because it is a cream product. If it builds up too much, you're going to get it creasing on you. So, because I can put you guys a little bit closer too. For doing the eye stuff. So yeah, just a nice little thin layer. And then we're going to, as I said, I've never ever played with this palette yet. I've only swatched it and I thought, hey, perfect time. So I think I'm going to take this lighter color here and put that on the inner parts of my lid. I'm just going to use an e.l.f. brush for that. Maybe halfway in on the lid. I'm not sure. Let's see what I'm feeling when I start doing this. Yeah, like a third or halfway. And then I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to take this peachy color. Coppery, peachy, whatever you want to... No, it's more like a coppery coral color, I think. And I'm going to put that on the outer half of my lid. And I'll pay attention to blending them together in a minute. You can hear that noise, the cats are clawing at stuff. This is a really pretty color. This is going to make my blue eyes pop. Okay, and I have a blending brush here somewhere. I'm just going to blend those together a little bit. Just so there's no harsh line. And then I think I'm going to take a tad of the darker color if it's not too shimmery. No, it's not too bad. And I'm going to pop a little tiny bit, like a little light layer of that in my crease. The tiniest little bit. Hopefully this turns out, as I said, I didn't play with this palette before, so maybe just a little bit more. I don't want to go too dark because it's a spring look. That's nice. It's not bad, that's pretty good right there. And I'm just going to take it again on this brush and just pop it into this crease. Don't mind my eyebrows, guys, they need to be waxed. I need to go this week and get them done, so they're a little, I don't tweeze my brows myself. I get them waxed. So that looks pretty good right there. And I'm just going to blend it again just to make sure it's all nice and blended together. Pretty good. Okay. So now I am going to take this blue liner. I did have a turquoise liner at one time, but I don't know what happened to it. I'm going to want to put this in my waterline for a change, for a pop of color. A little tiniest bit on the waterline there. It's not, that liner's not working very well for some reason though. And then I'm going to take this pencil brush that I have here, and I'm going to take this bluish turquoisey color that's in this palette. I'm just going to smudge that on the lower lash line for a pop of color as well. Okay guys, so it just looks like that. Just a little bit of blue smudged under the lower lash line. What was getting changed in there. I'm using the Clump Crusher. I don't know if I'm going to do like a separate get ready for Easter video, because I think this might be my look that I use for Easter because it's very colorful. But it's a subtle pop of color. Okay, that's my mascara. And then to top off the whole look, what I'm going to do is use my MAC Viva Glam Nikki lipstick because it's nice and bright and it's definitely a spring color. Which I wouldn't typically wear with bright eyes, but I mean it's only a pop of blue and some corals, which I consider like a natural. So this is what the finished look looks like. I don't know if I'm going to keep this lipstick or go for a neutral one. But I find I like this color on me for some reason. I just think it suits my skin tone. So anyway, that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this, getting ready with me. I'm going to go check out my look myself to see how I like it. I think I like it pretty well. I think I'm going to wear it for the day. And I'll talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye everyone!